Welcome to Luminary 2021. It doesn't feel so long ago when we did our first Luminary seminar back in 2016 at the Gherkin. It certainly is one of my favourite events of the year. For those who don't know me now, my name's Alison. I head up the business development team for the South East. And I'm going to talk today about an update on AJ Bell and a platform market update in general. So looking at our interim results, these were announced last month and they are our 6 monthly results. You can see the increase in the number of customers of 346,000 that we currently now have, and our assets under administration grew to 65 billion. Our revenue was 73 billion, up 21%, which produced a half-yearly profit of 31.6 billion, up 39% from the following year. As you can see, we do organically grow, and this is the trajectory for the last 7 years. And you will note from this slide that our main area of growth is the growth in our platform. I don't think I have seen such a change in the platform industry for quite some time. There's been such a change in the last 6 to 12 months with regard to acquisitions. You'll recall that Anacap, a private equity firm, bought Wealthtime. They also bought Novia. Standard Life sold Parmenion to a private equity firm. And more recently, James Hay acquired Nucleus. Acquisitions within the platform industry can sometimes result in market uncertainty over ownership, profitability, and viability. It's therefore always important to check your primary platform's balance sheet. And if you are currently completing due diligence in this area, do make financial stability one of your key criteria. Previously, when we've seen acquisitions in the platform industry, it does usually result in a replatforming exercise, which can result, as we know, in its own headaches. We do usually find that this can also bring uncertainty to the advisor firms. We are expecting consolidation to continue and more platforms up for sale. This was proven by the recent speculation in the press that Embark was for sale and Lloyds being the rumoured buyer. We'll watch and see with regard to that. What I've also found in the last 6 months within the platform industry is that the pandemic has provided the time for advisor firms to make strategic decisions on where they'll be in the next, say, 10 years, and which platform they'll be partnering with. We have experienced advisor firms transferring their clients' assets to us from other platforms in bulk or on a client-by-client basis. We do have a very good platform support team whose sole focus is to transfer assets in specie or by cash, and this has been very efficient for the advisors. If you are considering changing your platform of choice, please do let us know. So that brings us on to our proposition. For those who have been using us for quite some time, you'll know that we started as a SIP specialist and we evolved into a platform and launched our platform back in 2011. We are members of the London Stock Exchange and we are institutional stockbrokers, and we have kept our SIP specialism. We do offer the full range of products, SIP, ISA, GIA. We have our more simple SIP, as you know, called the Retirement Investment Account. We offer LISA, JISA, junior SIPs. You can also hold our platform in offshore bonds with Canada Life International, Utmost, and more recently, Old Mutual Wealth. We also do products like charity accounts, limited company accounts, and the only accounts that we don't offer is an onshore bond. So if you do have clients who want to open specific accounts, do contact us because we usually can accommodate. We do have the full AJ Bell investment universe, and the reason why we have such flexibility with regard to investments is because we are an institutional stockbroker. So I would be confident that we can always accommodate your CMAP. So with regard to our proposition, we're always striving to be the easiest platform to use. We very much focus on our service and our functionality. We ourselves replatformed back in 2014, and we have been on a huge development drive since then. I'll go on to talk about price, but our price is very competitive, so we feel we have a compelling proposition. We do try and make it very easy for you to use us, and I think this was quite shown during the pandemic, where it was easy for you to submit business with us. This is because we're very online. You can open most of our products online, SIP, ISA, GIA. And if the transfer is coming from Origo, then we don't need any paperwork, and it can be straight through processing without any paperwork or signatures from the client. Where we do require a signature, we did introduce electronic signatures, so DocuSign, etc., and you can scan those forms over to us. We no longer need original signatures. So coming on to our price, our platform price starts at 20 bips. So our first tier is a large tier, so anything a client has with us up to $1 million is 20 bips. Assets between 1 million and 1.5 are 15 bips. Assets between 1.5 and 2 million are 10, and anything above 2 million we do cap up to 10 million. Most of our trading is done via our books and models tools, and therefore if you're in the section of the website, then there'll be no dealing fees. I mentioned before we have a more simple SIP called a retirement investment account, and this is generally for values of under 200,000. So the retirement investment account starts at 25 bips, and there's no other ancillary costs. You've probably seen Mark Coulson's traffic light system, where he compares the cost of platforms within the industry. Our price is competitive, and green on the heat map means that you are competitive within the industry. And as you can see, we are green on the heat map for all different sizes of clients. Developments. It's been a busy year for developments within our platform. I've listed the developments that we have introduced over the last 12 months, and I've highlighted the ones in red that have probably been the main developments for our advisors. So we introduced third-party MPS with a small number of select DFM, including Charles Stanley, Vestra, Bruin, Brooks Macdonald, more recently Waverton. If you need a list, we can provide that for you. We also did a development on our system whereby the advisor can go online and they can request an ad hoc advisor fee without the need for any signatures. And more recently, we introduced our ethical portfolios, so that's pair of fund and also via an MPS, and Laura later on in the seminar will be going through that. So what's coming soon in our new developments? So we are in 2 months' time, we are going to be launching our second ISA. So at the moment, you can have different strategies or 2 different strategies in the SIP, as many different investment strategies in the GIA, but we only had 1 ISA account. The second ISA will be introduced in 2 months. But we've also been working on a new performance report in V2, So the output will be different from what you're used to on the performance reports that you use at the moment. We're hoping to have that next quarter. So we will send you over confirmation of when that's available. If you need a draft report now, then just let us know. Later on in the year, we're hoping to introduce tiered advisor charging, hopefully with family linkage. And also we'll be changing our client onboarding, and that will be earlier next year, and we can go through that review when that arrives. You may have read in the press that we bought a company called Adalpha that we recently rebranded to be called Touch by AJ Bell. And it's generally a mobile app platform. It'll be a simplified proposition with the potential to complement our existing advisor platform business. It won't be available till next year, but we'll keep you updated as and when we have more information. So I'm pleased to say that the advisor adoption on our platform does continue to increase. You may complete the platform surveys, and we generally find that we are near the top in terms of business development support, functionality, investment range, service, etc. And we are continuing winning awards for our platform, where we actually won the Platform of the Year this year, that we were very pleased and proud to win. So if you do, you will know all your business development managers. As I say, I cover the South East together with Marcus and Will, and you will recognise your business development managers from the map here. This year I've reached my 25 years in financial services, so I thought I would touch upon that for the Luminary event and also talk about working during a pandemic. I wanted to touch upon my early influences, and being the youngest of 3 girls raised in a predominantly female household meant that my early year role models, whether I liked it or not, were strong-minded women, and I had to stand my ground and learn to compromise, which was not always easy. I'd probably say my greatest early influence, looking back, was my swimming career, and I reached a national level swimming alongside Olympic swimmers who wanted the very best in training and mentoring. This did mean from a young age I was very focused and committed to my sport, which ultimately led to my competitive nature, which has worked well in a career for sales. I've certainly thrived in a pressurised environment, and I've pushed my boundaries to hit and exceed targets. We are in a changing world, and we have made so much more progress in recent years, although there is still room for much improvement. I do believe our industry requires more female advisors and more females into business development. I'm certainly hopeful by the time I hang up my boots, the landscape will be unrecognisable again, and I hope that I would have played a small part in trying to help with those changes. From a work-life balance perspective, in truth, I'm still trying to achieve a healthy work-life balance, but over the pandemic and the added task of the dreaded homeschooling, I have found a better work-life balance, and I hope you have too. I believe flexible working will ultimately help to drive more women in the industry. I was fortunate to be promoted to head of sales just as on the 1st of April 2020, 8 days into lockdown, and which did bring its challenges, but also many rewards. It's obviously more difficult to lead a team via a computer screen, but the team adapted really quickly and are very open and supportive of a female leader. I do try and mentor my colleagues and some female graduates, and I promote and highlight the career rewards of females working in the financial services industry and in business development. The next 25 years, what will we see? I hope we all keep heading in the right direction. I hope to see more female financial advisors, and I hope to see more females find their way into business development. and that both AJ Bell and I can add and support this movement. I'm looking forward to being back out on the road this year. Hopefully it's not going to be too long until I can see you all face to face. And I'm looking forward to actually hosting our next Luminary event in person, this time in London. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for all your support during the year, and to keep safe, and I hope to see you all very soon.